I'll be reacting to Delicious Hearty Precure episode 39. I'll be watching it from Crunchyroll's website. I'll give it like number 22. And now I'll be starting off my reaction in 3, 2, 1, go. Logos when it comes to animation. I'm just saying. Seriously though, Takumi's mother doesn't look like she aged a single day at all. She's the same beauty that she was back in the day. Hell, Yui's mother doesn't even look like she's that old at all. Holy cow. I worry for Amine. Age age is probably gonna hit her like a brick truck when it gets to her. I'm just saying. But anyways, no, Dog Such Son though. It's nice to see the even the narrator put in some dialogue too. Because nice how this episode straight up confirms that yeah, the narrator is actually our girl's grandmother. Finally, I've been waiting to see her actually interact with her papa. Kinda makes me wonder whether, all jokes aside, if they went through some kind of freaking divorce. I'm not saying the Pretty Christie is whatever that route, but it ain't exactly a plot point that Toei Anime originals avoid though, because Digimon, at least OG Digimon, had Sakaru and Yamato. Both of them had parents who went through a divorce, in both versions too, for the OG Digimon Adventure and also the rebooted version. That's why I was like, oh, is it divorced? That's what I was wondering. Oh, sorry, color so fucking adorable. I actually love her look. Ucha, delicious. Oh, that song never felt put a smile on my face. Ah, Sicko too. When is she ever gonna do anything substantial? Seriously though, when it comes to Precure series, I enjoy it, but man, this series has some of the most disappointing villains I've seen in animation. Like the villains in this series just like all bite, unfortunately. Which is a darn shame, really. I mean, whoa, you, whoa, you always got some power, okay? All right, that girl's got some moves. Goal! Considering the incredible soccer matches that were around today, actually. I'm surprised you ain't being scattered though, considering she's super athletic. Damn, the match ain't even over. Oh, okay, that makes sense. I was like, the match ain't even over yet. I kind of like why it explains why there's so many recipes. This actually explains why Sekretsu and the other Bundiru bandits don't hit up any other world. They don't hit up other places as much. That's actually decent writing. I'll give this series credit. In other series, it's like Why do they attack the same town if that's the town with Precures? Here they explain, well, since there's some kind of device that actually attracts recipes, then yeah, it makes sense why the Bundesliga would frequent that town actually. Okay, that looks suspect right there. I wonder if that guy's a traitor. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm just so really paranoid. That's actually kind of cute. Seeing his mom with Ginger. At least when it comes to Ginger, he's not going to be a completely throwaway character. I'm curious about this actually. Talk about edgy. Well, here's a definition of perfect, though. And speaking of which, this series is going to make Godot's one of the most disappointing final villains I've seen in the Precure verse because every darn single final villain, at least of the last, this one, the last two Precures, essentially the last three, have been nothing but disappointment. We don't get to see any depth when it comes to the final villains at all. I mean, at least in Tropical Row they try, but even then, that's still like minor depth. Kind of disappointing. They don't even bother giving violent villains anything. Again, I still enjoy the series. I just gotta mention now that we're actually near the finishing stretch of Delicious Party Pretty Cure, the flaws are like way more apparent than usual. Especially since this is my third Pretty Cure now. So it's just easier to rip apart the flaws. You know, she ain't wrong about that. Well, at least in most instances, it's filled with love. Unless someone is stuck in like a prison, then it's filled with contempt and indifference. But say for that, for the most part, cooking is actually filled with. It looks like life has beat him up badly. You know, when a job beats you down that much figuratively, you might just be better off looking for a different employment. Oh, that's adorable. Both of health should be the priority, though. But he is a good father, though. Like, I like that. He's responsible, and I like how it's realistically flawed, 'cause, yeah, some parents do have the flaw of overworking themselves to the bone. That's more at the very least, for a single night, you won't have to worry about spending money on food or prepping up food. I actually really love what Yui's mother did. It makes sense why he'd wanna cover up his tiredness, though, because most parents would wanna do that. Aw, that's kinda sad. These are war stories I wanna see from Pretty Cure, stuff like this. Not the whole Bunito gang causing chaos. I mean, no, I like it when they cause chaos, but the thing is, though, having characters talk about their parents being overworked is actually pretty relatable. This, to me, is more relatable than when you have, like, the 100th time where a villain will show up, summon scrubs, try to defeat our girls, they get defeated, rinse and repeat, the villain shows up, they summon scrubs, they get nah, that stuff ain't as engaging as stuff like this is more engaging, at least for me personally. Don't get me wrong, I like fights, but let's just be real. Does Toei even try anymore? with Precure visually. It doesn't feel like they do. They'll like maybe try for lucky once every 4 weeks, maybe. Because when it comes to Precure, let's just be real. Toei will try in like the first 4 episodes. Then they won't try. They'll like maybe try in like an episode in the 20s, then the 30s. Then they'll put some effort in like the last 2 to 3 Precure episodes. It's been like that for this so far for this series. It was like that for Tropical. It was like that for Healing Good. Like if Toei's not going to try in the fights, and just having relatable stories like this, and the series can still be good, and just have the fights on occasion. Hell, that's what Tokyo Mew Mew does. Tokyo Mew Mew doesn't have the highest budget, so they'll have some episodes that don't have fights, and they'll put some other weaker animation teams on the drama or comedic oriented episodes so that it doesn't embarrass itself when it's fighting time as much. That's what Precure should be doing so that the lesser talented animators that don't embarrass themselves with stuff that they're not capable of doing, or at least maybe not capable, but maybe things where they're rushed. I'm just saying that would help Precure out a lot. Either that or give it the budget of Digimon or One Piece, which I know there's a fat chance of that happening. This series ain't gonna be bankable like a Digimon or a One Piece, so say for like that happening, I'd say they should do what I recommend. Just have more slice of life oriented episodes. Because stuff like this is good. This is actually one of the more consistently written episodes. Yeah, because it's even relatable with you being down in the dumps a little bit energy wise. Because youth go through that where we just aren't peppy all the time. Well, even older folk. Oh, you know her civilian form is actually really cute, actually. And it's actually nice because here, when it comes to Secretu, we see that because a few episodes ago she said that that cooking or recipe should be left to like the pros. Oh yeah, we see that she's being a pro food prepper herself. That actually makes Secretu interesting because it implies that she might not have the most self-esteem from the implications there, which makes sense because she is seeking perfection. This actually adds, yeah, it doesn't make Seki to the most deepest character, but it actually adds a bit more depth to her actually as a character. But okay, Zoe, finally, this is what I've been waiting for. A situation in this series where we get 2 weeks with relevant episodes back to back that don't just include the intro episodes. This is what I've been waiting for. I'm actually shocked. No, if this series was written like this episode and the previous episode every week, the Precure series would be amazing. It would sort of be amazing. But sadly, that's not the case. Precure is just, it's good. It's enjoyable. But that's it. It doesn't go beyond that. Really say, oh, Adam McKay, man, you're just an animation whore. No. One of my favorite animes this year is actually Watch a Primogi, which that series has no budget. It looks even worse than this series visually, but the script in that series is absolute fire. And it has better writing than Delicious Party, and that's not even an action series. It's a dancing series with main characters that I still. It ended like a while back, but I remember I know the names of the characters like Hina, Matsuri, Mayamu in that series, Amane, Jennifer from that series. Like I could literally name the main characters of Watch Free Manga off the top of my head because the characters have so much depth, and it's just dancing. So it's actually kind of no, it is lower stakes in the series. At least this episode though, I could feel the characterization is really dang strong. And that's what I've been waiting for. If this episode actually added a bit more depth to Sector 2. I don't know why in the world it took like 39 episodes for that to happen, but you know what they say, better late than never, actually. It's actually not seen where there were instances where a character actually deals with hunger. Kind of has the message for the younger audiences, even older audiences too. You should always try to keep yourself well fed. That's the animation's actually decent. Okay, so this episode's the full package. It has like a nice combo of well done visuals, at least in comparison to some of the other episodes, and really good writing. Love it. I wonder if she was exploded in the past. Damn, I was someone that tells Sucker to the like before she went all evil insane mode. But that's a lie right there. The irony. It's Secretary that doesn't know nothing, but I like this though. Because it shows us depth because she believes a lie that is so not true. That's what makes yeah, this episode's actually making her a better character. Not necessarily morally, but a better character because it adds to her flaws in a good way. You know, that's actually pretty smart observation from Yui. I love how instantly she got triggered. I don't know what they're saying receiving the baton because they always have like a baton pass. Every single time there's a new Precure. But no, logic aside, yeah, the whole passing the baton thing also works too because here's why. But I should have given it to her earlier. Well, no, it works too because here's why. It works because this really comes off the back of Yui talking with the grandmother in the previous episode. Dang, yo, that was beautiful! Oh man, that punch! No, seriously, this actually is gonna be ending up being one of the best Precure episodes so far. Like, where was no seriously, where was this in last week? Like, this series had so many middling episodes, and finally I'm getting what I've wanted. An episode that, yes, is still episodic in nature, but not completely because we find out more about Secret 2. You have Yui analyze Secret 2 as a character. We get to see Secret 2's past. We see that her utilizing an egg recipe relates to Secret 2's past, making it relevant. This is really a pretty cool episode done at its near best. That's why I love this episode so much. It's holy cow. And the music just further helps elevate this episode too. Dun, 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 dun. That is something I will not complain about modern day Precure. The music and the voice, honestly, anything that has to do with sound like music and voice acting is amazing. That I will never take away from modern day Precure. I want to see Secretary's reaction. Just seeing her saltiness is adorable. The thing is, she doesn't seem like she's in plan of sharing. Yo, that was justification? Oh, man. I'll be in a sourpuss there. No, but all jokes aside, I really do hope Secret 2 will come around, though. No, Yui's son for some reason is drawn really beautiful in that show, and Yui's drawn beautifully too. This is weird. A comic Pretty Cure episode from start to finish. I don't remember the last time we had one of these. With the exception of last week. Again, last week and this one are the exceptions. Okay, now it's back to normal animation quality. Yeah, now it's back to normal animation quality, but hey, it was fun while it lasted though. I love their thankfulness. Yeah, this right here is charming. They really do. I love this. She wants to build and gain more responsibilities so that she can spend more time with the father. That's good writing right there because we're seeing her mature, and she's even acknowledging the burden that her father goes through, and she wants to share part of it. That's beautiful, actually. And honestly, I am honestly surprised I don't get more episodes like this from this series. Episodes that will relate to not just to kids, but even adults like me, because I can actually relate to some of what what she went through in the past, actually. And I can also relate to the father too because of the lack of time and prepping things up. I can actually relate to both of these characters. I think just Yui being the way she is brings everyone smiles. Aw. I think Yui I guess no, Yui was the person's kind of already passed around with her with what she's done. You know what? My goodness, I didn't notice Kokone is truly fashionable this week. Talk about the animals really flexing their muscles this week. Okay, hopefully we get to see Takumi do something relevant soon. Metzger's father knows he's a traitor. Oh, okay, that's fishy. Yo, okay then. Okay, this episode is great. I'm giving this one a 9.5 out of 10. Like, if anything, I thought this was actually better than last week, even though last week had the emotional moment. Last week was rushed. This episode was beautifully paced. I mean, let's see why this. I'll break down why this episode is amazing. We found out more about Secretary's past. We actually found out more about her personality. How she's someone that's trying to be a perfectionist, and how apparently her not being perfect in the past has led her to rough times, given the fact that she wants to be perfect or at least as close to it as possible. So that already adds to her at least a bit more depth. And also, I don't know in this instance, the egg motif fits in because that flashback we saw of her trying to prep her food did involve eggs. So that's what I thought the writing in this episode was actually proficiently done. Aside from that, here's another thing I loved about this episode too. The action actually looked competent. Finally. Voice acting was absolutely fantastic. Music was great, and that's why instantly, for me at least, this is one of the best delicious party pretty cure episodes by far. I don't even think there's a day about that. Like this episode just does so many things right. Like that makes me wonder, is this really a pretty cure episode? I mean that in a good way. Because I've learned to accept disappointment or expect it at least, and this one didn't disappoint. It actually surprised me pleasantly. Oh, now it's back. Yes! Finally. Yes! Another plot relevant episode. That ain't just the monster of the week. Oh, finally. Okay, that is one thing that the series has disappointed though. Even though I enjoy it, they've kind of made black pepper into a nothing burger though. I'd be lying if I said they didn't, because they have. So regardless, though, I'm still enjoying this series, and hell, this series is in a hot streak right now. But anyways, y'all, these are my thoughts on the episode. Love to hear y'all's thoughts about how I feel about my reaction or the episode itself in the comment section below. And I hope you have a great day or night, y'all. Bye-bye.